be great.
No! You were live.
Hi. For the last minute, they've been singing Al Green. The second I press live, they stop when Christina goes to ask a question.
Will be answered when you guys explain everything. It'll be fine.
All right. Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 49 of Fantasy Film Fights.
No.
Like fantasy?
Film.
What'd you fucking say?
Fantasy.
Film fight.
I still don't get it.
Fantasy. Fight!
We take the pick of the litter.
We take it in turns. Someone's just gotta go first. And then
The next person.
they just go round and round.
That's what.
We call it
Fantasy.
fight. You win some, you lose some.
Anything can happen.
So,
Who are you going with?
who you picking?
Today.
Fantasy.
Film.
Okay, now, hi. Welcome to episode number 49 of Fantasy Film Fights, the show where we take a random film topic and we draft it fantasy style. I know there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, at least in most of our nation's capital tonight. So we're just going to try to give you a little bit of a reprieve, take your mind off of it, give you some entertainment. And with me, as always, my co-host right over here, Mr. Tony Hill. Tony, how goes it over there in a place that's not completely chaotic?
No, it's completely chaotic, but we're not going to talk about politics or COVID here because fuck that, we got much more exciting things to talk about. But yep, this is episode 49. Dear God, we've been doing this too long. I keep saying this like every 4 or 5 episodes, just like because he keeps saying the number, just like, dear God.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep that a tradition. But yes, today we are drafting movie recommendations for Tony's feature presentation 2021 challenge, where he had 52 categories, one for every week of the year, for movies that you've never seen that fall underneath that category. So we're going to throw out some ones that we have seen
There we go.
that fall into those categories. Once someone has picked one of those categories, that category is now off the table, and somebody has to go with something different. But before we get to all that, we're going to introduce our panel. Beside me right over here, late addition to the show, Mr. Andrew James Barr. How you doing today, Andrew?
Hey, yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of stress going on, but you know what? It's a good time with these folks. So yeah, I'm not Rue. Look, hold on now. Let's not start.
Yeah,
No!
I should have prefaced that. Rue's running a little bit late. We were made well aware of that ahead of time. He will be here eventually, so don't worry. He's on his way. We won't disappoint. He'll show up eventually. But let me introduce the rest of the panel. Down over here, Mr. Jacoby Bancroft. Jacoby, how are you, sir?
I am quite excited. Very happy to be here. It's going to be a good time. I love all y'all. We're going to have a blast.
It's going to be a fun one for sure. And then last but certainly not least, down over here in the corner, one of these days I'm going to get the pointing right on this thing, Miss Christina V. Christina, how goes it?
Oh, it's going great. I'm just really excited to help promote the podcast starring myself and Aaron J. That is the companion piece to the list that we are.
Yes, Digesting Cinema just started. Episode 1 is already out there for your listening pleasure.
Wherever you guys listen to your podcast, listen to us talk about Funny Girl.
Yep, please do indeed. And then, let's see, Tony, we might as well get the show on the road. How are we going to go about that?
So yep. So the way we're gonna work. So I've got because I was maybe drafted into a bar. Came last second ago. Hey, do you have a spare spot? I was like, oh, yeah, Ruth's not gonna be for a while. I can pretend to be Ruth for a bit. So I didn't come up with a question. So I've got the glasses instead.
Hey, the fun number generating glasses.
So basically, Tony's going to be picking for Rue for these first couple of rounds.
Mm-hmm.
It was predetermined. Ruth sent some picks, so it's not going to be Tony's picks.
Yes. Tony is picking on Rue's behalf with Rue's selections. So hopefully he can talk about the movies that Rue loves.
Last time, and we all picked the same number because we're 12.
Yep. So pick a number between 1 and 100.
Picking a number between 1 and 100. Done.
So perfect. So what we'll do is, whoever gets close to the number will get to pick draft order. However, because Root is going to be late, we're going to put him second, so that there's the longest gap between his first and second pick. So hopefully he will rise by his second. So let's see what people's got for numbers before we go. So Bar,
37.
Jacoby,
42.
I almost wrote that.
Christina,
19.
and Peggy.
Because I was number 123 on the draftee list, I go in 23.
I was number 119.
I want to change my number then because I was totally thinking about that too.
Yeah, I'm going to change my number to.
By the way, congratulations to Christina and Jacoby. I've said this to them already, but I just publicly would like to say congrats, you two.
Congrats back at
Congrats to you. Congrats back. Congrats to everybody.
All right, Tony. Number revealing time.
Bar, do you want a hug? Hey, just 1 second.
I'd love a hug, actually.
You know the reason why I brought you on?
What's that? Why is that?
So I have someone to feel my pain when these all go like, oh, you know who's messaging me? This person just messaged me.
You know what, Tony? Well, let's form a support group.
Well, me and Ryan Payne have already started the We've Been Left by Our Partners group. Anthony Tisdale is also joining us. He's now doubled. All right.
Do the glasses thing.
Glasses.
So cool.
Please.
I already win.
63. The number 63.
Oh, you got 42. Damn it!
So the closest is Jacoby with 42. Douglas Adams wins again.
Whew, because Bar swore revenge against me for broadcast news on a former episode. So I'm very happy that it lies in the hands of Jacoby to select draft order. Jacoby, all you, sir. Who you put
Jacoby,
first?
just put me before Peggy. That's all I ask.
We know Rue's second.
This is actually way too much power. So okay, Rue's going to be second for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I did it last time, Jake, and everyone picked it, and then we got yelled at, and it was weird, so I didn't want to go with it. I was trying to be mature.
Jacoby, there's a crisp high five in it for you if you put me before Peggy.
Oh, God. Okay.
Well, there's not, because he doesn't tip his servers, so he probably won't.
You shut your mouth!
I had
That's
Andrew,
number,
but after
it will-
that, not anymore. Okay. I'm gonna go last. I want the trouble.
All right. So when you're ready.
Christina, you can go first. Let's just be crazy.
Yeah, that's great.
You can go ahead and put him before me. Let's make Bar happy.
And okay. And then Bar, and then Peggy, and then me.
Oh, you made a big mistake, Peggy.
We shall see. We shall see,
So
sir.
it's going to go Christina, Rue, Andrew. Andrew, Peggy. Jacoby.
Andrew,
I've been called worse. I've been called worse, Tony. So hey.
What you worth? So
Yeah, but you've never been called better.
Nicely played, sir. All right,
Thank
let's get this show on the road. Christina.
He leaves the number though. He leaves the. So just quickly explain this. So the way it's going to work is about this. I'm going to post in the group, so you can have access to it. People about watching. So there's 52 categories there. So each one will pick a category and then a movie that you should recommend. Once they pick that category is now eligible for anyone else to pick. So if they pick a terrible film, we get to shout at them for not picking the film they wanted instead.
Yep, and it should be a fun one. So Christina, kick it off. You are officially on the clock for the feature presentation 2021 challenge, digesting cinema cross promotion draft. Go.
All right, perfect, because I'm going to cross promote and go with 1970s because that will be episode 2 on the podcast. And in episode 2, we will be discussing Kramer versus Kramer. So I will pick 1970s Kramer versus Kramer as my first pick. I watched this yesterday. So Aaron had told me previously that a lot of people compare this to Marriage Story. I can definitely see the similarities, but I will say I very much appreciated the angle that they went here as far as the relationship between father and son. Cried a lot of times. I did not cry Marriage Story. That little boy broke my heart, little Billy. And I believe he's the youngest Academy Award winner. Bar, correct me if I'm wrong, or nominee.
Back one.
Yeah, just nominee ever in general.
for supporting actor, maybe.
I believe that is the case. It's either him or Haley Joel Osment.
Yeah. So, I mean, deserved, rightfully so. He was fantastic in this movie. I mean, there was a lot of parts where he was just like so sad and so broken. And I feel like sometimes you don't really get that a lot of times with kids. You're like, oh, the director told them they need to be sad here. And it's like, I truly believe that this little boy missed his mommy. So I was like, oh, I don't want to give too much of it away, but it ended the way it should have. F that B, I don't like her.
I gotta admit,
I don't want to give away too many opinions because I don't want to spoil the podcast. But Kramer versus Kramer, and then check out Digesting Cinema episode 2.
Yeah, I gotta admit, it's been years since I've watched this movie, so I will revisit it ahead of listening to your episode. But anybody else want to chime in on Kramer versus Kramer?
You took one of my options for verses in the title, so.
Oh yeah, that is sad because this movie is sad. This movie is I agree with you. It is heart wrenching. I don't think I've seen it for like years, but it's like it definitely sticks with you no matter how long it's been like since you see it. Like you just remember it because it's. I mean, if you watch it when you're in your teens, like I watched it super young and then watched it again like a little later, so I didn't really get it like the first time around. When I watched it the second time, I was like, oh, this is a high quality movie right here that totally just rips your heart out. So I love Kramer. Yeah, I love this movie.
Nope. Excellent selection. And Christina's first pick is off the board. Go ahead, Tony.
Just confirm, Justin Henry was the youngest nominee, 8 years, 276 days. Youngest nominee in any category, has held the record for 40 years.
Damn. Well, well deserved, according to Christina. All right, so Rue is now up. So Tony, take it away. What was Rue's first pick off the board?
Okay, so it's in the chat somewhere. So saying he's not going to be for a second. So his first. All right. So Rue's first pick is for the one-word titles.
Okay.
Son of a.
And he's going for a film that, if you've ever listened to him on One God's Day or anything like that, you know that he adores this film from 2018. This is a film. It comes highly recommended from him and it also myself. This is one of the best films of that year. Daveed Diggs was criminally snubbed.
Oh,
Blind
Spotting.
Yeah.
Thomas Jefferson himself.
I was really sad when you announced that at first, like, oh, one-word title is off the board, but then you announced that it was Blind Spotting, and that's perfect for it because this movie is just fantastic on like every level. You watch and you're just blown away.
Yeah, I love the fact that it was him and his buddy Rafael Casal. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Basically wrote and now there's like a TV show that's coming off of it. Lisa Zimmer?
So yes,
I believe
right?
Yeah, there is. I don't know if it's still in production development or so, or if they got stuck, but
I think they're shooting it, if I'm not mistaken. No, this movie is incredible, and then you get to see Ethan Embry come back after a long hiatus. At least I feel from movies, and plays that cop perfectly. But no,
Yeah.
excellent. Go ahead, Bar.
This is easily one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. I've never seen a movie cover so many different topics and do it with such ease and just flow and just like a combination of that plus the way that the movie is like and the dialogue is delivered. It's just a phenomenal movie.
I love the way that a lot of it like starts off kind of funny, right? Like there's a lot of it's a super funny movie. Like in that beginning scene with like in the car and the plot, it's like, oh, guns, it's like, oh, this gun, like that's you think, oh, this is kind of like a really fun comedy. It has really great humor through it, and then just keeps piling on, and you're just like, oh, please, he's so close to get out of parole. Like he's like, oh, don't let him do anything bad, or probation. Sorry, not parole, but it's like, please, everything go right for him because you root for the guy like so much.
That guns bit is one of my favorite jokes in any movie history. Like, guys, I'm only 3 days away from plausible deniability, so if you have a gun, don't tell me plausible deniability. Oh, you mean these guns?
Like this film just feels like it got kind of swept away in the love that Sorry to Bother You got. It felt because Sorry to Bother You came out first, then this came out like almost just like a month after. Just no one really gave Blind Spot the attention, and if it really did get that attention, it would have been so much bigger than it was. Sadly,
For sure. No, but yeah, if you haven't seen this one, It's an excellent pick. I highly recommend you watch it and watch it for this category along with the podcast. All right, Bar, you're up, sir. First overall pick. What you got?
We're gonna go with something that was written by a woman.
Ah, okay.
We're gonna go with When Harry Met Sally.
Hey!
Baby.
You know I'm on board with that pick.
Yeah. This is honestly one of the few films I've ever seen where, like, I literally, as I'm watching it, I'm like, I can't find anything wrong with this movie. I know some people are going to disagree with me, but it's literally the most honest depiction of a budding, blooming relationship over a long period of time that I've ever seen. It is just so delightful, so charming, and once again, incredibly honest. This movie's amazing if you haven't seen it.
It is, and it's one of my favorites. And Barr said he was going to make me pay. And yes, it might have been something I picked, but no, actually, it was not on my draft board. So I figured by now everyone should have seen When Harry Met Sally, except maybe not Sabrina Ramirez, who just saw it for the first time this week, according to their show. But all right, anybody else want to chime in on When Harry Met Sally, which is a fantastic rom-com if you've never seen it?
I will.
Go on.
I like this movie a lot. I don't believe Meg Ryan would never bang Billy Crystal. I rest my case.
That is a point of contention.
Wow.
Christina.
Like
Wow.
the fact that Billy Crystal's like, oh, men and women can't just be friends. I'm like, bro, you are literally the quintessential mascot of the friend zone. Yeah, men and women can't just be friends because only women want to be friends with you. Because no. Other than that, the movie's great.
I feel targeted.
Especially, I will say, Billy Crystal's sand beard is a hard no. Hard no. Billy Crystal with a beard at least is like approachable.
But like back in the 80s, that's the look, right? That's
peak 80s look.
That's attractive. It's peak Crystal.
Power walking, they do.
I'm very picky, and Billy Crystal doesn't meet the requirements.
Yes, it's Chris Evans or nothing with Christina.
Absolutely, yeah. Hello, I'm gonna go for Billy Crystal.
You wouldn't believe someone who's overly attractive in When Harry Met Sally, though. That's like the part of it of how they can build the friendship. If it's Chris Evans in the role and Meg Ryan, then you're like, they should just be together right away. Like there's no reason to build a friendship.
There's no slow build to this peak. If it's Chris Evans,
attractive female, maybe I don't know.
Right away.
I think it's a fair point.
But that's the best part. It's like at first you're like, I don't think that these guys belong together, and then you slowly build and develop in it. You're right, Jacoby. If it's Chris Evans, immediately everyone's like, "Oh, this is a power couple."
Yeah.
So just quickly, so for Written by a Woman, Nora Ephron is a fantastic pick for that. If you've not seen Heartburn, that is a fantastic film. Silkwood as well, her debut one. The My Blue Heaven, This Is My Life, and then you have the ones that she's more well known for, Tom Hanks, When Harry Met Sally. Yeah, if you could look at early stuff for Nora Ephron, if you're looking for that category, for something in the vein of When Harry Met Sally, it would be absolute chef's kiss.
Now, Var, you said you went with directed by a woman, right? That's the category. Written by. Okay. Written by. I wrote down directed for some reason.
Right. That's directed by Rob Reiner.
Rob Reiner, yeah. So I don't know why I wrote that.
Thanks, Jake. Yes, you are, hon. Today.
Today.
I get what I did. I changed it on my list. Okay, you'll see.
The hair might be a different story tomorrow. We'll see.
His hair's been looking good. He's had a real glow up in quarantine.
All right.
Peggy, your next pick.
My turn. Okay, so Bar took written by a woman off the board, so I will take directed by a woman.
Dang it.
Because this one was written and directed by a woman, and it's one that I talk about nonstop. Not a whole lot of people have seen it because it's only on Netflix exclusively. I'm taking the movie called Someone Great. It is my favorite rom-com in recent years. It's like right there between that and Long Shot. But like I said to someone yesterday, it just narrowly edges us out. This is a fantastic chick flick, rom-com, whatever you want to call it. It's got Gina Rodriguez, Lakeith Stanfield, Brittany Snow. I keep wanting to call her Brittany Murphy for some reason. But cameos galore. RuPaul's in it. The dude who's a reporter from The Daily Show, who I cannot remember his name right now. But no, it's a fantastic movie. If you've never seen it, it's on Netflix right now. I highly suggest you watch it. Has anyone here on the panel seen this?
Nope.
I've seen stuff.
Yes, everyone but Bar.
Yeah, I watched it because you recommended it. Because you spoke so highly of it. And I was just like, okay, I love Gina Rodriguez because Jane the Virgin, I think, is just a fantastic show and she's great in it. So it's like I wanted to see more of her in a lot of things. And like you watch this movie and it's just such a great modern type of romance film, and like the way that it's structured and tells its story about her dealing with what's happening. And she's just great as the center. It's like. And her friendship that she has with her friends is just phenomenal. I think from start to finish. Makes me not want to visit New York, to be honest. New York just looks like a scary. I don't want to go there. But the movie is really good.
You think that made New York look scary?
Yeah. I was a little puzzled by that one, but okay.
People are up late at nights and like going to clubs.
It's the city that never sleeps. So hard one.
Yeah, I saw nothing out of the ordinary. Then again, I live in Chicago, so. But yes, written and directed by Jennifer Caitlin Robinson. I expect many more great things from her in the future. But yes, it's a good movie. You've never seen it, I highly recommend it.
She's only writing a small film in the MCU for Love and Thunder. You'll never get hear from her again.
There you go.
Yeah.
But
I'm just going to say, every film needs a scene for RuPaul, just to RuPaul. You can give him a different name. You can make him a drug dealer. But RuPaul in your film, and it'll be better.
Fair enough. All right, so I say someone great. Jacoby, over to you to close out round one. What you got?
For my movie, I'm going to take film noir, but I'm going to pick it's a different type of film noir. It's one that's I saw when I was like younger, and I just think it's brilliant. Like when you hear the concept of like what it is, it sounds like the literal stupidest thing in the world. It's like it's a film noir set in high school. Like it's like a hard-boiled detective story set in high school, and you hear that it's like there's no way that they can pull it off. But for this movie, it does. It is Rian Johnson's directorial debut, and that starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and that movie is called Brick. He's a high schooler whose girlfriend kind of dies, and he's just trying to investigate what's happening. What the deal is, but the world that this high school creates is like a seedy underbelly city where he has to get to his contacts, and there's to find out the meaning of what happened. And I just think it's done really well. And it made me think, man, Rian Johnson's going to go on to do great things, which he continues, I think, to do for a lot of his stuff. But this was, if you like Rian Johnson, watch this directorial debut, because I think this movie's great.
Yeah, I have not seen it, but I will definitely add it to my list of movies that I have to see, because it's getting long, but it'll be on there. Has anyone here seen it, Brick?
I've been wanting to, honestly. Jacoby's talked this movie up a lot, and I need to get around to it.
I will say, like, Jacoby kept describing it, and I was like, yeah, I don't know what that means. I don't know this either. No, I still don't get this hint. And then he said it. I was like, yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. I was like, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, know him. I don't know what he's talking about.
Claire from Lost is in it, Christina.
Yes.
So,
all right.
So
yeah, it's one of those you stumble upon it and just like, what is this movie? It sounds so stupid. And then, at least for me, like every time I watch it, I'm just like, wow, like this, they pulled off this concept so well. Yeah.
I kind of gave this film a bad run-up when I watched it, because I watched 500 Days of Summer, loved Joseph Gordon-Levitt in that, and went, oh, I'm going to watch more of this stuff, and chose this. That was my good in the future. That's my plan. So I just went like, this isn't that romantic lead. I don't like this. And I'll come back to it, but I'll go back to it sooner rather than later, because it is Rian Johnson. Like, if you've not seen Knives Out, it's one of my best films from last year. To the point where I picked it first last week on 2019 films.
Agreed.
All right, cool. That brings us to the end of round one. Tony, recap time. Would you be so kind?
Absolutely. When it pulls up, there we are. All right. So Christina went first, and she went with Kramer versus Kramer for the 70s. Find out her full opinions on that Monday. Digest Cinema. Rue went second, even though he's not here. Blind Spotting for his one-word film. Bar went second. He went with Harry Met Sally, written by a woman. Peggy went Someone Great, directed by a woman, because it's Peggy. And Jacoby went Brick for a film noir.
All right, time to kick off round 2. Right back over to Jacoby. What you got up your sleeve, pal?
This is the one that I actually originally had placed in both directed by a woman and written by a woman, in case one of them got chosen. But since they both got chosen, I wasn't sure that I would have space for this movie, but I can fit this into another category. So I'm going to take 2000s off the board.
Okay.
And for me, this is a movie. I think it's a very polarizing movie. I think some people love it and some people hate it, but I personally love it. I think it is Christian Bale's best performance. It's a performance that is just out there. It's crazy.
Oh no!
It is American Psycho.
Oh no!
Okay.
I know this movie is. I know. Everyone.
Jake's happy.
Oh, Jake Meltzer's like,
The reason why I think this movie is so fantastic is every time I watch it, I hate Christian Bale at the beginning and what he's doing with his performance and how he's structured this movie. I was like, this is just, I don't get what you're doing, dude. Like, this is the wrong way to play the character. But then it just continues, and like as you fully understand, I guess, the world that it's set up about the greed and everyone in their own separate bubbles and not really listening to one another, and like how this psychopath really rose to prominence, and how he and how he operates in everyday life with nobody noticing who he is because no one cares enough to listen, is brilliant, I think, in my opinion. And yeah, I love this. I love this movie so much, so I had to pick it.
I mean, it's a decent movie. Not really my cup of tea, but I can appreciate your affection for such a film. I'll put it at that.
So, fun fact: when me and Jacoby first became a team, we sent each other like a list of our favorite films. This one was like his first or second, so I went, "Oh, I'll watch this to try and figure out what his mind is." He was like, "The fuck is wrong with you, man?"
Probably shouldn't have said that right away. It made him not want to be teammates with me for a bit.
Yeah, I was just like, "Can someone give me like this protection just in case?" Like, I'm scared. Like, he's also asking me about the band Genesis now. Just help me.
Yo, Genesis rocks. Genesis is one of the greatest bands, so don't you dare.
She's an easy. Are we gonna sing again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Love it all.
Okay. My ex-girlfriend, this is one of her favorite movies of all time.
and is that why you're not together?
What's that?
Is that why you're not together anymore? She's
No,
here.
this is the one that made me see Cats on opening night.
Well, that's why you're not together.
Yeah. I was like, all right, I've heard good things about this movie, and I watched it, and I went, wow, this is bad. Like, I don't like this movie at all. I'm sorry.
Oh, wait, which movie?
You don't like American Psycho?
You're still talking about American?
Yeah, I'm still talking about American Psycho.
Oh, I thought you were moving on to a different movie.
Oh no, I get to pick before him. I get to pick before him. So
Wait.
Oh yeah.
we're still on your pick.
American Psycho is great. And I
No,
do
it's not.
appreciate, like, there's parts where I'm like, this pretty much seems unbelievable, but I'm gonna like suspend reality for a little bit because I'm watching a movie when he's like dragging the body, and I'm like, really, no one's noticing this, and I'm like, all right, all right, but I'll suspend belief because we're in a movie. But then the chainsaw part, I was like, bro, this ain't real.
That's the point of the movie, though, is that
That's where I was like, wait a second, there's got to be a deeper meaning, and obviously it made sense by the end. But halfway through, you're like, wait a second, what ride is this taking me on? Because I was like, yo, this dude's just murdering people. He's hacking people up. He's like dancing with his axe. I'm like, yeah, bro, let's do it. Let's suit up before we start like knocking people out, But then I was like, this is questionable. No, I really enjoyed the movie though. And I'm into psychos, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know what that says about Anthony, but okay.
I mean, does Anthony not have his hair sometimes? I'm not gonna lie.
The flow is always proper.
Got a little bit of the flow.
All right.
Accurate.
So 2000s and American Psycho off the board. Over to me. Which do I go with? Because it's going to be a long time before y'all get back to me. All right. I'm going to go with a movie that is less than 90 minutes. And it's kind of a cheat because in order to watch this one, you got to watch the one before it. And for it to make sense. I am going with Before Sunset. I love me some Richard Linklater, and this is my favorite trilogy. And the middle one just happens to be under 90 minutes long. It's about a guy named Jesse, girl named Celine. They meet on a train. They kind of fall in love, but then they separate. Then 9 years later, they find one another again. I'm not going to give away too much more than that. I mean, I could, but recommend the trilogy. If you've never seen it yet, please go out and see it, especially if you like romantic movies. Anybody here? I made Christina watch the trilogy.
I watched the trilogy, and I will say the first one is my least favorite out of all of them because it's the predictable one of like two strangers meet, they have the wild night, blah, blah, blah. But the other two, especially the third one, I was enthralled. Like I could not stop watching it. It was so good. And it's all dialogue. So there's not a lot happening. You really have to listen to it, but the second and third one knock it out of the park for me compared to the first one, just because I think the first one's predictable.
That's fair.
But the whole trilogy in itself and just the way it's shot and the fact that it's the same people and it's actual time lapse is just incredible all around. So yeah, it's a great pick. Great trilogy. Thank you for recommending it to me.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Gentlemen.
I still have not seen any of these movies.
Oh my God, Bar, you would love them. Like this is right up your alley.
All right, I'll get to it.
Ethan Hawke. I mean, I've loved Ethan Hawke ever since Reality Bites, but
I would also say believable relationship.
That's fair. that is fair.
Meg Ryan.
There is no Meg Ryan though. There's no sexy ass Billy Crystal either.
Yeah, that there wasn't a sexy as Billy Crystal in When Harry Met Sally either.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. Sorry, I had to go little my cousin video on that one.
Okay.
Okay, but yay! I'm so excited that I get a Richard Linklater movie on my list. Yay! All right, Bar, over to you, sir.
All right. Well, since 70s movies are gone, I had to reconfigure something. So let's do movies that with a budget of less than $1 million.
Damn it! Okay.
And we're gonna go with
I almost went with that.
one of the best movies ever made, arguably, Dog Day Afternoon.
Ooh.
That was under a
Dog
million.
Day Afternoon had a budget of about somewhere around 400 million. There's not a lot of different scenes. It all takes place in the bank, the street, and the barbershop across the street. And it's just this great crime movie about just a couple of hours of a bank robbery gone wrong and a hostage situation, and the way that Al Pacino and John Cazale are just you kind of want them to succeed. And Chris Sarandon's performance in this movie is super underrated in like the list of like all-time great supporting actor performances. Like, dude probably should have won the Oscar. I don't remember who he lost to that year, but it's just this really tense, drawn out, but incredibly well-paced movie. And it's incredible if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, sad to say I have not actually. I mean, heard great things about it from everyone, but yeah, I'm on a to-watch list for a while now. Oh, that could work for the. Oh, never mind, I'll shut up.
Yeah, I
Sounds
watched
like this is what it's intended for.
I watched it, I think, for the first time, had to be, I think, 2 years ago or close to about that. And it's like, it's one of those things where I heard throughout my whole life, Al Pacino is a fantastic actor, right? Like, he's like one of the greatest actors of like, our time. It's like, but I hadn't gone out and watched a lot of like Al Pacino movies for everything like that. And then I watched that movie and you're like, oh, I see where he gets that reputation now, like, like why he's, considered one of the greats. I love this movie. So good pick.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with Al Pacino's. I always just thought like, oh, Scarface, Dunkachino, that stuff, and it's like I watched this like last year, and it's like, oh my god, okay, this is actually not just the action thing. There's so much depth to this character, and just that's like, and it's based on a true story as well. And it's like the way for the 70s, the way that they treat with the characters with so much respect, just like, oh, like okay, it's just baffling how great that movie will treat those characters, and it's like you do want to see them escape and all that jazz. It's so beautiful. If you've not seen it, please watch it. It's one of the great 70s films, which you can watch this week.
And
After
Bar, I will say I'm pissed that you took the budget under $1 million because I was going to pick Fruitvale Station for that one.
Oh, that was a good.
Well,
I saw that one and I'm just like, okay, whoever this director is, he's going to be huge one day. And I was right.
He was huge before. Oh, Fruitvale Station. Oh, okay, I thought you were still talking about Dog Day Afternoon, and I was like, City Lumet was big before that.
I saw Fruitvale Station and I called Kugler. I was like, immediately. I have the tweet and the Facebook status from years ago to prove it too. But did anybody else have under 1 million on their list and have an idea for it? Something other than Dog Day Afternoon?
That was not one that I really researched. I kind of looked at it briefly, but I couldn't. Fruitville Station was obviously like when I was considering them. That one kind of came up, but not that I picked.
Yeah. Right now I'm just trying to stall because Rue is almost here, and I want him to be here.
He's giving me permission to start, so I'll say what it is, and he'll hopefully jump in whilst we're talking about it. So his second pick. Let me grab my phone. So where is he? So his second pick. Weirdly not. So bizarrely, this is not one that I was thinking. Like Felicity 52, there's some that you go, oh, this is one that this person's gonna pick, and this one's gonna love. But he's got the Hitchcock.
Ooh. Son of a gun!
Really, Rue's going Hitchcock. I wouldn't expect that from him.
Hitchcock, and he's gone by North by Northwest.
Okay, I see where. Okay.
I'll be completely honest. I have a pile of DVDs here that have like been meaning to watch. It's in that pile still. I've not gotten around to it yet, but
yeah, I can't speak intelligently on this one. Bar, Jacoby, Christina, anyone?
I've never seen this with this. I was going to pick something else for Hitchcock.
I was going to pick Strangers on the Train for Hitchcock.
No!
Yay! So let's talk about Strangers on the Train until Rue can arrive. Guys, go off. What do you like about that one?
Okay.
Do you like horrible bosses? Do you like good movies?
You take that. Horrible Bosses is a good movie.
Hold on, Horrible Bosses is a good movie. What the hell? Basically, the premise of Strangers on the Train is there's a tennis player at the beginning of the film. There's a tennis player who's on a train, and he meets this random guy by the name of Bruno, who basically has this plot where he basically says, "Hey, have you ever thought of how to get away with a perfect murder? Basically, you kill someone for someone else that you have absolutely no connection to, so that draws absolutely no suspicion on yourself or the person that you were killing them for." And the tennis player is like, "Nah, I'm good." But Bruno ends up killing someone that the tennis player has a connection with, and now the police are after the tennis player.
Well, in return, you're supposed to kill somebody for them, and that's like
right.
Bro keeps saying, like, well, you have to like pay me back, basically now.
Exactly, and then he pops back up and he's like, "All right, your turn."
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah,
it's a definite recommend if you have not seen it. It's Alfred Hitchcock, so there's all like the weird camera angles and shit. So it's like it's good.
I've never seen a tennis scene. I've never seen a tennis match that made me sweat.
Okay, that was a long extended word, sweat, because I thought you said something different.
Your time. Rudy, save us from Peggy.
Oh my god! Every light, everything. Yes, North by Northwest. Bar, you know why?
I do know why. I know exactly why.
Thank you.
Go.
And of course, you all the second I get on here. Hi there. What's up, everybody? I'm sorry.
Hi.
No worries. Happy to have you, buddy.
Okay. Anyway, yes, North by Northwest. I'm very mad that Jacoby, you took 2000s because I have another. Bar would know why I picked that movie, and I'm trying to like scramble in my brain where I can get that movie. But yes, there are a lot of like movies that everybody at least knows the scene from, or that should be on every quote unquote movie buff's list that I have not seen, and I have recently finally seen North by Northwest, and this is one of the only ones that I have actually seen that has lived up to the hype. And also because I didn't know much about the movie, it also helped out because a lot of that movie I was not expecting. Cary Grant is amazing in this. I could see why he can lead just about anything. Eva Marie Saint goes toe to toe with him, and just it's much better than that other movie I had to watch that everybody thinks that you should watch with James Stewart in it. Yeah, Vertigo's
Oh.
okay. Vertigo's okay. North by Northwest is entertaining. It still holds up. It is a 50s movie that doesn't feel like a 50s movie. It could come out today, not really change much, and still be as entertaining and as good. So, yes, North by Northwest. I really enjoyed it.
All right, cool.
Yeah, that movie slaps. I didn't get it the first time I watched it. I thought it was overhyped the first time I watched it. Then I had to watch it again, and boy, was I incredibly wrong. That movie is amazing.
I love the first half of it. I think that first half is amazing. As soon as it like the back end of it, and once I get into like both like the forest and even the whole Mount Rushmore thing, to me it goes on a bit too long at that end there.
It does.
But the first part, the lead up to that, is just amazing. So good pick.
All right. So
Just
Go ahead.
quickly, I read this about Hitchcock because I was researching this. So the way that you should start with Hitchcock is either North by Northwest, Stranger on the Train, or Rear Window. And I kept reading this like avoid the fucking Vertigo like a plague until you've watched all of Hitchcock's work because you just won't understand it. You'll just be sat there going, what the fuck is this? Unless you have like the history of Hitchcock. Does that stand, or what do you think? Or
I'm pretty sure somebody else. I'm pretty sure North by Northwest and Vertigo are the only Hitchcock movies I've seen.
yeah,
Like,
range.
if you, it's one of those things where, like, I think if you've seen like Strangers on the Train and Psycho and North by Northwest and maybe some of his other ones, like maybe even Foreign Correspondent, then Vertigo is kind of like, oh, then you're more ready for the kind of movie that Vertigo is.
Good to know. So for Hitchcock, we took North by Northwest. That brings us to almost the end of round 2 because Christina's going to close us out. Christina, what you got?
I am picking mystery for my topic.
Okay.
And I am going with the greatest murder mystery of our time.
Yep.
Based off the best-selling board game, Clue.
Oh, I figured you were going to go like Knives Out with your boy.
Nah. As much as I love, I'll figure out a way to get him in here.
I figured as much.
Well, one, I want Jake's vote because I know that Jacoby picked American Psycho, so I have to really make him torn here. So I'm going with Clue because this movie is excellent. Okay, when I am forced to give state testing and I have a week of sometimes longer than a week of testing, I like to kill time and I make these kids watch Clue and I hype it. I'm like, yo, this is like an intense murder mystery. You guys have to be so quiet because you have to figure out like who is the murderer. And I'm telling you, these kids are like hype. Like they're like, all right. And I see them whispering. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, yo, I think it's this person. Like, I think this person wasn't in the room. Like, it's gotta be her. It's gotta be her, right? And they're like hype about it. And then I like throw them in the monkey wrench. I'm like, who said it's only one killer? And they're like, what? What? Right? And then the 3 endings, 12-year-olds are hype about that stuff. And like for the rest of the year, the one kid's like, so who do you think is the murderer? And I was like, I don't know why we're talking like that because I don't think that was in the movie, but like I appreciate you think that's how we should talk now the rest of the year. If you have not seen Clue, it's excellent. Tim Curry is the bomb.com in this movie. It can never be redone to that caliber because of just how great he is. And yeah, there's multiple endings if you really want to get into it, but it's so good.
I'll tell you, you're not cool unless you own the video game with a VHS tape that you have to watch to play along. You guys remember anyone my age that had something like this?
Wow.
That's
Oh.
Anyone remember?
I
that? Or is that
remember
just me?
these things, but I didn't know there was one for Clue.
Parker Brothers, baby. They come through. But yeah, stole this from my parents' place 2 years ago when I went home for the holidays. But I don't have a VHS player, so I haven't been able to play it.
I also love how you have that to hand just in case someone brought up Clue.
No, I don't know if you noticed. I ran off screen to go grab it, and it was in the closet.
Yeah, I was like, Peggy, get the game, like that's how we work.
Yeah.
This movie is so great. I love this movie so much. It's got one of my all-time favorite ending lines to a movie. Now I'm gonna go home and sleep with my wife.
Oh, I will say I stopped that.
Mrs. Peacock was a man.
One year I let it play all the way out. The one kid goes, "Wait, I thought he said he was gay," and I was like, "I'm not having this conversation." So I.
Also, you're right. Tim Curry in this movie just murder. What murder? Why would you say that? What?
And like when the
great.
telegram person gets shot, they're all like, "Oh!" They're like, "She wasn't even on screen." Like they just killed her.
Right in my face.
It's one. That is one of the. I don't think I've seen this movie a lot. And I think the first time I remember seeing the Telegram Girl get shot, I think it was the hardest laugh I have had at up to that point, and I still laugh my ass off. You say the word clue automatically. 2 + 1 + 1 + 1. 1 + 2 + 1 +
1. Chandelier.
Where is Jake? I wish you could quit.
I don't need your help making me look like an idiot. No, because you can do that perfectly well on your side. That's right.
I think this movie is. I love the cast overall. Like this ensemble, I don't think it's talked about enough. Like just for how great everybody is, like in their roles so perfectly. And the part that you're talking about, where the singing telegram gets shot, that whole scene, that sequence is so great because like the buildup between like all of a sudden people start dropping left and right. So when he goes up and gets shot, it's just like, oh, a lot of people are dying, and like they're defeated when they're all just kind of like looking at the body, like. Michael McKean, I think is I love Michael McKean and everything he does. So Tim Curry's, I love Tim Curry obviously in this one, but and also second in this to me is Michael McKean.
Yeah, for sure. Excellent pick, Christina.
I got Clue ruined for me because I found out who they wanted originally to play the Butler, which was Rowan Atkinson, but he wasn't famous enough to do it. And I'm just like, now whenever I go back and watch anything of Clue, I'm just like, it could have been Mr. Bean. It could have been that. It could have been.
I feel like I could easily remove that from my mind and enjoy Tim Curry for the greatness that he is.
It wouldn't have been as good with Rowan Atkinson. I love Rowan Atkinson, but it would not have been the same.
I agree, Bar. But then it's hard to have any sort of perspective when you've seen Curry's performance in that, you know?
True.
Also, just quickly, my pick for this is going to be Murder by Death. Murder by Death, 76.
Written by Neil Simon.
Yes, indeed.
You're written by Neil.
I am muted. That's the other murder mystery I grew up on. Love that film as well.
Nice. But excellent way to close out round 2. Tony, recap it for the people who joined us late. How it's going down so far?
Absolutely. Okay, so Jacoby was first this round. He went American Psycho for the 2000s. Peggy went second. She went Before Sunset for less than 90 minutes. Bar went third. He went Dog Day Afternoon, less than $1 million budget. Amaru went next, and he went North by Northwest by Hitchcock. And then Christina went Clue for Mystery.
All right, moving into round 3 and back over to my girl.
All right, I'm gonna blow minds with this next pick because you guys are gonna be like, I don't even know this chick. Like, remember she was in the Fan Leagues? It was like, you all dorks watch these kind of movies. Like, I just love Bring It On and lame movies. I am going to pick the category of set in a non-English speaking country.
Ooh, damn you! Scared me for a second.
You really don't even know who I am right now. And the movie that I am going to pick, and this is for you, Anthony, and don't say that I love Chris Evans more than you, is a movie starring Audrey Hepburn and Cary Grant.
Son of a bitch!
And it is titled Charade. And this movie was like enthralling because you're like, good guy, bad guy, good guy, bad guy. What's his name? What's happening here? So it starts off with literally like Anthony ran to the bathroom real quick because like in old movies the credits roll on for like 3 minutes. Not this movie. You just see some dude getting like offed and thrown off of a train, and I was like, yo, bro, some dude just got murdered. Like while you were peeing. So like I don't know how we can handle this. I was like, I think this is important to the plot. So Audrey Hepburn's husband gets murdered, and it turns out that he's in some sort of group that has $250,000 in some way. The people that he was involved with think that now she has the money. And then they are all, awesome. Well, I don't want to spoil anything because we're watching it right now. So there's a group of people that are essentially attacking her, but one by one, people in the group start to die, but we don't know who's actually killing them off. And then Cary Grant is like super charming and super sketchy and super charming and super sketchy. And the what's his name? Anthony, Bartholomew, right? Is freaking what's his face? It was Mr. Wilson from Dennis the Menace, which I thought was
Walter Matthau.
Thank you. I never forget his name. And Grumpy Old Men. I don't want to spoil it if Nick is literally watching right now. I feel Anthony, do you want to come up and talk more about this? I don't want to spoil it because he's literally watching right now. But this movie is excellent. Like Anthony was like glued to the screen, like this is the greatest movie ever. So I wanted to throw this out there for him.
Yeah, I'm sad to say I have not seen this one. So Bar, you had a
Bar,
reaction.
You can talk about it more because I feel like you're better at talking about it without spoiling it.
Just quickly before I let Bar do, I've never seen this before. I'm on the Wikipedia page for Sharad, where you can watch the entire movie for free on Wikipedia. So you have no excuses, people.
All right.
It's legitimate. There is a part.
It's 1960s also, guys, so it fits.
Full film of Sharad is available on the Wikipedia page. I've never seen
I love how he called it charade. I feel like so loud. I was like charade.
Charade.
Well, charada is a French word. So,
well, I took Spanish, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I was going to pick a different movie for this. I may still pick that later for another category, though. I'm still deciding whether to go with the obvious one or a new one. This movie is really great, though. First of all, if anyone loves Audrey Hepburn, it's me. But the mystery surrounding literally everything going on, you're right, there's so many twists and turns to it that it keeps you engaged, and like the final big twist towards the climax of the movie is so good.
So good, and you don't see it coming at all.
Not at all.
Because at one point I was like, oh, I figured this out. Like, this guy's the bad guy, whatever. And I paused it and I was like, yo, there's like 40 minutes left in this movie. Like, I am not correct. Like, I'm obviously not at the end of the movie. Like, I'm not even close.
And do yourself a favor, watch this version. Don't go anywhere near the remake.
Mark Wahlberg's in it.
Oh, it's bad, Jacoby.
But it's Wahlberg, it's the walls.
I agree with you, though. I think this movie, I watched it for the first time recently, actually, for Audrey Hepburn stuff because of Andy. And it was incredible. Like, I didn't expect to be as enthralled with it as I was, but it's one of those things, exactly as you said, kind of once you kind of you think you know where it's going, all of a sudden a new twist and completely changes how you view the movie and how everything. So it's like, oh, okay, so now this is the story they're telling. It's like, okay, now I got it. I fully understand. And nope, switched again. Something new is happening now. And really great, just great center performances by both Audrey Hepburn and Cary Grant.
But don't go pee in the beginning. You have to watch it immediately from the beginning.
Hey.
Good tip. All right.
Well, just before we let Riga for this next one, I just got someone message me just going, what's this thing? So this, if you go on Letterboxd, I'll throw a link in the chat. I've been doing it all the way. So it's 52 categories for Gone for the Years. The idea is that you pick, you look at the categories, you find a movie that fits for one of them that you've not seen before, and ticks off that category. You watch it, then you can have 52 things that you've not watched, but hopefully they're outside your wheelhouse. Some people, like Christina for the podcast, are doing it week by week. So this week is the 60s, next week the 70s. Some people are doing it where they're literally just going through and going, okay, I'm going to do that one now because I want to watch this film. Or, let's have a look at this. You can do that. If you want to watch 5 films in one day and not touch for a month, you can do that. Any way you want to do it, that's absolutely fine.
Just got to figure out a way to tick off each of the 52 categories before year's end.
Yeah.
But if you want to have fun, follow along with the podcast. All right. Rue, you're up. Round 3. What you got?
All right. Christina, just because I saw North by Northwest, I'm definitely watching Charade now.
It's so good.
Second, when you started to say set in, I was getting really, really scared. And you said in a foreign country, Bar knows exactly where I'm going with this because I'm going set in the UK. And I have confirmed last night that this is my favorite crime movie ever. And it is absolutely hilarious. And it is another amazing ensemble cast. And it is from a director who has finally been able to actually hit this again for another film and hit his stride again in For the Gentleman. So my pick is Snatch. Snatch
Okay.
is hilarious. It is absolutely amazing. Master Wall was dying yesterday how much she had a belly laugh at freaking Saul. Whatever his name is, I should probably know that a little bit better. But anyway, I know the actor's name. But I absolutely love Snatch, and this is one of my favorite Brad Pitt performances ever in anything he's ever been in. I was low key. I was gonna say for a film in a language I don't speak because I don't speak Pikey.
Yeah, right. It's so
Don't speak Pikey. But yeah, I love this movie to death.
Yeah, I had to watch the subtitles for sure.
Anthony stole my line.
Like dags.
You like
I
dags?
can't remember if Anthony tried to make me watch this and I didn't pay attention, but I don't think I've seen this all the way through. I can't remember. I can't remember if that was him. It could have been another boy.
This movie's a lot of fun. My favorite moment of the movie, though, is when Bricktop is talking about how to get rid of a body. And let's just say it has to do with pigs. And it is just terrifying, but enrapturing to listen to at the exact same time.
But also hilarious because who he's talking to at the time. Those characters are just, damn, are y'all stupid.
Is that a tea koozie on his head? This movie's a lot of fun. It's probably Guy Ritchie's best movie.
Yeah,
probably. I would have to concur with that.
Lock, Stock still has a place in my heart, but I think that's just like the spirit of the 90s as well. But it's like Snatch is amazing, though. Like if you've not watched Snatch, even if you're not into crime stuff, it's an absolute fantastic watch. Mr. Bancroft, what say you?
I haven't seen it. This would probably be on my list of. I haven't seen a lot of the early. I haven't seen Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels or Snatch. I think the early Guy Ritchie stuff I just missed. You know, this would probably, if I was doing the Letterboxd challenge, as everyone should do, it would be like this would be like the ones like been on my queue the longest type thing. This is probably what I would watch for that one because it's like I've been meaning to forever. I haven't.
That's fair. All right.
I'll be fair. I'm a shill for any Guy Ritchie film. I do have difficulties arguing that the 92 Aladdin is better than the remake. So I love him so much.
I like the Aladdin.
It's a Bollywood film. It's a Bollywood film like with massive American budget. It's amazing. I don't get why people hate it. I know it's not Robin Williams, but he's dead. I'm sorry. And Will Smith's a very good genie.
He was very fun and entertaining. I'm with you, Tony.
Aladdin is the best live action remake that they've had so far.
Oh, 100%.
Better than Beauty and the Beast?
Yes.
I really like Beauty and the Beast and really like Jungle Book as well, but Aladdin is really good.
Yeah, the Jungle Book was good. I really appreciate that they made Lion King live action starring no real lions. I'm like, that's not live action. That's just Toy Story. Like, it's not real.
Okay. And then after a while they backed up and went, okay, it's animated. We'll nominate it for best animated feature.
Yeah. Okay, Rue takes Snatch over to Bar. Bar, what you got for round 3?
Let's go with a story that won the Tony Award for best play.
This doesn't shock me at all that you would pick this category.
Of course not. I'm the only one who's going to. Hit me up if you need to know movies that fall into this category.
Be on the podcast episode.
Yeah, I can. I'm not going with a musical though. I think a lot of people would have expected me to go with a musical for that, but I'm going to go with one of the best biopics of all time, Amadeus. Amadeus is about Salieri and Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. It is told through the eyes of Salieri, though, after Salieri has just tried to commit suicide and he is in a mental asylum. And the entire story that is being told is through his perspective as he's talking to a priest, basically giving like his last sane recollection. And the performances by F. Murray Abraham and Tom Hulce in this movie are two of the absolute greatest performances I have ever seen put to film. It is the cinematography is just absolutely beautiful. There's so much natural lighting in this movie that a bunch of these like scenes look like they're paintings. And the Requiem scene towards the end of the film is legit probably in my top 20 favorite movie scenes of all time. This movie is absolutely amazing. It is about 3 hours, but it blows by so quick you can't even tell.
I want to thank Anthony in the chat for getting the Amadeus song stuck in my head right now. I gotta admit, I have not watched this movie since we watched it in like elementary school or junior high or something like
You
that.
watched this in elementary school?
I'm a bit older than you there, Bar. I don't know if it might have been junior high or high school, one of the two. But anyways, it was a long time. It was a long ass time.
Cut out.
It's a long ass time ago. So I might need to give this one a revisit.
This is a movie that I think I've seen it 3 times now. I think the first time, meh. Second time, it's like, oh, this is I see the quality here. And like the third time, it's like, okay, I'm fully on board. This is a fantastic movie. I think one of the best 80s movies and one of the, in this category, one of the best those movies. Cause you're right. It breezes by with its central relationship between these two guys and setting it with through the viewpoint of Salieri, who wants to be good, right? He wants so bad to have what Amadeus is, and to see this punk, wild kid with no respect who he doesn't think deserves it to be so much better than him is so heartbreaking, and
to be able to realize that he's better than him.
Exactly, is phenomenal. I don't know, when you say the record, is that the ending scene? Is that
the scene where the bed scene basically?
So I love that so much. It's like, keep up. Like, are you with me? He's like, I'm trying, because like he's just trying so hard to be at his level and have these two minds collaborate is one of the best. I can't say enough good things about this movie now. I couldn't before. Now I do.
Oh, cool.
It's phenomenal. Like the only issue that I have with it is that it's been Star Wars. In the fact that you can't find the original. You can't.
Oh.
You can never find the one that actually won the Oscar. You can only find the
director's cut. Yeah.
So it's a shame because like you kind of do want to go back and just go, all right, why exactly did win the thing rather than Foreman tinkering with it? To be fair, Foreman is great.
There's really only like 2 differences, like 2 scenes that are added to the director's cut that are not in the original theatrical release, so it's not that different.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Rune, Christina, have you guys seen it or?
I have not seen it.
Neither have I.
You should give it a crack.
Give it a crack.
Look, you look at some of the imagery and you're like, oh, guys in powdered wigs, this is gonna be so boring, but it's so enrapturing.
High praise from Bar. Always sells me on movies. So, all right, I guess it's over to me, huh?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna go with one. I don't think it's a category anyone else is targeting on this one. At least I'm assuming that. I guess I'll find out. I'm gonna go features in Arquette.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, it really doesn't feature David Arquette as much as he plays a minor role in it, but it is a movie that I love that not many people have seen, and it is a 1996 movie called Beautiful Girls. Is anyone here familiar with this?
Heard of it.
Okay, so it follows the story of a guy named Willie. He plays a piano in a bar. He's kind of at a crossroads in his life. He's wondering if he should get engaged to his girlfriend, but he goes back to his hometown for his 10-year high school reunion and has a bit of a sketchy crush on like a 13-year-old Natalie Portman. So that part's a little but it's a fantastic movie, and it's got an all-star cast. It's got Timothy Hutton as the main. It's Matt Dillon, Mira Sorvino, Uma Thurman, Michael Rappaport, Natalie Portman, as I said. It's a fun one, and I'm surprised that not many people have seen this one, so I had to pick it for this category. Anybody? Anyone? Not one person in here has seen it. Ah, wow. Okay.
Now, so that's something. I know David Arquette, so I mean, like,
yes, he plays the brother of the main character of Willie. But yeah, if you've never seen it, directed by Ted Demme, it's a good one. And me, an ensemble cast. I love me an ensemble cast movie. So, and this definitely falls into that category.
It is available on HBO Max.
Hey, there we go.
Over your
excellent soundtrack too. So, But yeah, so and if we just keep moving on, we might as well go to Jacoby. Jacoby, what's your round 3 pick? The challenge is going to be us. So we got to keep this rolling, guys. Let's go.
There
I
we
wish
go.
I wish I could say more about it. I can't. So yeah, my round 3 pick. I'm going to go with, let's see, what category is going to be taken later that could possibly. I'll take a non-Disney / DreamWorks animated film. So I'll take an animated film off from the list. Anyone who knows me, I guess I've talked about this movie a lot before, but I got to pick it for this one because I think if you're trying to get into anime movies and you really want like a recent anime movie that could sell you on the concept, I guess, of like how anime kind of works and how everyone, and the movie that I'm going to pick is Your Name. Yeah, he was right. I'm sure he's right. This movie, I think, is beautiful. Everything about this movie is beautiful, from its animation to the central story that it's trying to tell. Again, this is another one of those, like Brick, one of my previous ones, where it's like the concept sounds like, oh, okay, it's not going to turn out well. It's a body swap movie, right? You know, it's like a high school boy in Tokyo, like a very businessy city, switches places with a girl in a rural city, and it's like they live kind of each other's lives. And you think, sure, there are some classic guy feeling up the boobs type thing, like as he would do, but it also how they live each other's lives and help each other kind of grow. He helps her become more like confident in her life, and she helps him kind of recognize how to like talk to people a bit more. And then it delivers just a devastating moment, like halfway through, that like changes the type of movie that it is, and totally just turns it into something that was really good before. But then after that final twist, I guess it launched it into the stratosphere of great movies. If you don't watch a lot of anime, watch this movie.
Yeah, I've not seen this one, but I've heard it talked about, and I've heard nothing but good reviews on this one. Bar, you know this one. Go ahead if you want to comment.
I have seen this one. I really like this movie a lot. First of all, Jacoby's right. The animation itself is just some of the best animation you will see. I think the ending just kind of threw me off a little bit. But it's only a one-time watch, so I feel like if I watched it a second time, it'll probably click better for me the second time. But yeah, give this movie a watch. It's really nice.
Cool.
Yeah. This is very much like if you're trying to get into anime, like if you're outside Miyazaki, Your Name's perfect first step.
I haven't seen this one either.
Yeah, I haven't seen this.
Erica somewhere is screaming in delight, and she doesn't know why.
But hey, it's a good way to close out round 3. Tony, go ahead and give us a recap.
Absolutely. Okay, so round 3, been and gone. So Christina started first, and she went charade with. I'm scared to say that word now because you'll make fun of me. Set in a non-English speaking country. Rue went Snatch, set in the UK. Val went Amadeus, Tony Award winners. Peggy went Beautiful Girls for featuring Marquette. And Jacoby went with Your Name for a non-Disney / DreamWorks animation film. So we got 2 picks remaining.
There we got very different teams building up. I love it when that happens. Jacoby, back to you for round 4.
So what do I want to pick? I got to pick movies that I just want to see on this list that I love unabashedly, that everybody should see if they haven't already. So I'm going to pick, this falls under this category, the Saturn Award winner for Best Horror. Taking that category off the board. This is a 90s movie. It is a sequel, but it's a sequel that totally took the franchise in a completely new direction. The first one was pure horror, and this one, the third one, is basically a straight comedy. It is one of the most quotable movies, I think, of the 90s. It is, you gotta hail to the king, baby. It is Army of Darkness.
Yes.
The Saturn Award winner for Best Horror in 1993. I don't know if it deserved it as a horror movie, but I'm glad I could use it on this list because this movie is so much fun. This is a movie you just gotta see to understand the pop culture references around it. And yeah, everyone should see it.
That was what made me laugh.
Anthony's not going to vote for me now. I hate you. He loves this movie.
Well, I noticed. I was going to say Rue had a reaction. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I have never seen any of. Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2. I didn't even know Evil Dead and Evil Dead were a thing because I saw Army of Darkness first. And again, another film that me and my brother, it was on. Well, we know what we're watching for the next hour, 2 hours, or whatever, because it's fucking hilarious. And we don't like horror films. We don't do horror films. Just don't. And I love the hell out of this film. Bruce Campbell has been the man ever since I've seen that film. Anything he's in, it's like, hey, it's
Even Burn Notice?
yes.
Yes. Great. What are you on about?
It was all right. But yeah, with like you guys know, horror is definitely not my thing. But Rue, if you dig it, I'll check it out. No offense, Jacoby.
Sure, but it's like not even that much of a horror movie. It's like every jump scare is done with comedy. Like, and that's what I like about the movie is that like it's basically being. It's like Evil Dead 2 was kind of more of a comedy of Evil Dead 1, but like this one takes all of its jokes even like more to the extreme. Like I love the moment where, you know, there's like a deadite on the ground and someone's going up to it to touch it, and Ash is like, wait, it's a trick. Like, because he just has so much experience of every time that's happened to him before and like in the previous movies. So I just like how it builds off of its legacy and then but spins it off into this amazing adventure in medieval times. It's great.
I've not seen it yet.
Me neither. This is Coward's Row this week.
Whoa. Maybe.
But just quickly, Aaron did mention it is 81 minutes, the US version. So for movies under 90 minutes, this is a good pick as well.
It's easy to watch. If you haven't watched it, watch it for this challenge.
Cool. Also, go watch the TV show. All right, as build up. So Peggy,
I was trying to stall.
Well, Peggy stalls quickly since I'm wearing it. You always think Rocky shirt available still on Redbubble, and we also have new merch come up there now. We have the Japanese inspired stuff and also the orange Future PlayStation shirt. It looks really fancy. You should get it. Redbubble.
I have that one in the closet. It's very comfortable.
It's delightful.
I wish I had the hoodie, but they were out at the time.
I have the hoodie, but it's in the laundry hamper.
Yeah, Redbubble is in the description. Buy stuff; it'll be great.
Actually, I just got the Stimmy, so might have to buy another one.
You might have to.
All right. Well, since you brought up the always pick Rocky thing, I'm gonna go with a movie about a sport you don't follow. And I gotta get my man Ryan Coogler on here somehow. I am taking Creed for movies. I don't really follow boxing, and the thing I love about Creed is, it's a continuation of the Rocky story, but you do not need to have seen Rocky to appreciate this movie. Like it stands on its own fine if you're not familiar. And I think this movie is fantastic. The cinematography is brilliant. That first fight he has in Philly, where it's just like one continuous shot going around for the whole, this is when I'm like, yep, Ryan Coogler is my boy, like for sure. But it's a fantastic movie. If you've never seen it, I should have seen it by now. I mean, it's kind of a gimme pick. Like you guys should have seen this one by now, but I love it so much that I'm very happy to have it on my list. Anybody want to chime in on Creed?
I love Creed. However, you missed your chance on picking Creed 2 with this guy in the background.
The star of
the movie, yes.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
It's
well known.
Very well known.
Yeah,
I'm right behind Felicia Rashad.
Next time I watch Creed 2, I am only going to be looking in the background. Unless you're one of the dudes riding the bikes. That would be really cool.
Maybe.
Oh, I love that scene.
Go
to see Rock. Let's go.
Yeah, Creed 1. I am still in the whole camp of never have seen a film that starts with the word Rocky in it. And thinking through that, I haven't seen Horror Picture Show or any of those either.
Good.
I have not seen a second of Rocky and have seen Creed and Creed 2 a couple of times. And with fandom killing off Rocky, I might not see Rocky for a long time still. So definitely go see Creed. You don't need to know anything about the rest of it.
It helps, but not necessary.
Yeah.
I love it for being exactly what you said. It's like it's both. If you love the Rocky movies, you'll love Creed for like what it does and really truly honors its legacy and really does something that you didn't think that it could do, is like bring the Rocky franchise back. So if you're a big fan of the Rocky franchise, you're like, this movie is great. And if you've never seen a Rocky movie, you don't need to at all because it's just a great movie on its own. I think that's what these it's the perfect example of a passing the torch film, right? Like it's if all passing the torch movies were like this one, it would be amazing. And a lot of them fumble like this. A lot of them do. So it's incredible that a Rocky movie out of all of them, did this, and it's probably because Sylvester Stallone wasn't as involved in the writing. But then again, I also do love I do love Creed 2 a lot. Actually, I do love that. I love both of these movies, and it's a great pick. Everybody should see it.
Yes,
I've never seen it, but I will just say that Michael B. Jordan does no wrong. So if he's in it, it's a good movie. Well, minus Fantastic Four, but I'm sure. But he was.
Yeah, there we go.
So hot. Sorry.
The only issue I have with Creed is that Tessa Thompson can't sing.
Man, it sucks. So I really want her to be able to sing, but she's not great.
Yeah.
Every time like her songs come on, I'm like, are we sure that's not Janae Aiko singing it and just really altered?
Ooh.
Ouch.
My wife comments on that. Like I think in the second one, he comes out to like her singing like the song is just like she's like that's the one that he chose to like walk out to. Like I get it.
To be fair, her character is losing her hearing, so maybe she can't hear herself anymore.
That's true.
But still, I'm with the Michael B. Jordan can do no wrong. Tessa Thompson can do no wrong. Go watch Sylvie's Love. That's actually a really nice, sweet, very good
I
movie.
do not like her character in Veronica Mars. I'll give her that. She can do some wrong. All right, but Bar, we'll move from Creed over to you for your 4th round pick.
See, like I was about to pander a little bit, but then I remembered like the purpose of this episode is to get people to watch movies that they haven't seen yet. So I'm going to shift my focus. I'm going to do the opposite of what I normally do on the show. I'm not going to do it just to win the poll. I'm going to go with...
I come here.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said it's literally the only reason I come here. Vote for me, guys.
Normally I am too, but you know what? This is for the people. I'm going to go with a 60s movie. That's going to be my category. I'm also going to go with an Audrey Hepburn film. I'm going to go with How to Steal a Million.
Ooh, I haven't seen it. Please do tell.
Yeah,
How to Steal a Million. Basically, Audrey Hepburn plays the daughter of a very good forger, an art forger. However, no one knows that he's an art forger. He's very successful at selling his own work as if they were other people's works, Cézannes and Van Goghs and things like that. And he sells a statue worth $1 million to a museum. And so basically, the museum makes him sign a contract, but in that contract, it has to be tested. And they immediately know right away that it is not going to pass that inspection. So she hires the help of a art thief who had broken into her home previously in order to help steal the statue back from the museum. And it's this great piece with Audrey Hepburn and Peter O'Toole. And it's a heist film, and just the way that you see Peter O'Toole's character like piece together how to get past security, how to crack the alarm, how to do all these things. It's really dynamic and interesting, and the relationship between the two of them, it's whip smart. This is an utterly charming movie, but the heist itself is actually really intriguing and really interesting.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen it. Has anybody else in here seen How to Steal a Million?
I saw it years ago. I think for like a class. I loved it when I saw it. I just don't remember it enough. I probably need to watch it again, but because it's such high praise, I guess I gotta watch it.
Right. But hey, no worries, because we gotta keep this chugging along because we got a heart out for some of the people on this thing. So might as well just move on over to Rue. Rue, what is your next pick?
All right, so I am going to go 90s. And outside of Blind Spotting, this pick along with the last two are movies that I've seen recently and have either gotten appreciation for or gotten a greater appreciation for. I'm going to go with one. It should be considered as one of the best action films ever, but it isn't given the love that it should, especially because the majority of the rest of the series are kind of better movies. And because they're better movies, this one does not get the love that it really should. And it Tom Cruise just keeps running and running and running and running and running. And I've noticed that it's also one of the most iconic scenes of all time, so much so that every single one of the rest of the movies parodies that scene and nobody cares. Mission Impossible. The original Mission Impossible is extremely well done. It is a great film. Ving Rhames is one of the best side characters ever. And Jean Reno is really great at it. But Vanessa Redgrave as a villain is just beautiful. This movie is everything you would want. And it's also one of the most underrated box office smashes ever as well. But nobody ever thinks of it because the rest of the films outside of number 2 are amazing as well. So I'm going Mission Impossible. I think it needs more love.
Yeah, it's no longer the Rock Me Amadeus song in my head. It is the Mission Impossible theme going through my head right now. I just remember everyone like when they do the whole like they pull from the neck and like reveal that it's somebody else. I remember I was so like that was such like great special effects, but now that I watch it's a little bit dated at the moment, but still good pick. Good pick.
Yeah, this movie's really good. Fallout is still my favorite of the Mission Impossible films, but this is maybe in my top 3. Yeah, 3's great too. It probably goes Fallout 3, 1.
Yeah, I haven't seen the first one in so long that I need to again, but I'm sure it holds up.
Yeah,
this was the one with Emilio, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I'm thinking the right one. Okay, sorry, Christina.
I don't know, I've only seen 4, 5, and 6. I've actually never seen the first 3. It's just like I don't know. Growing up in the '90s, I had 2 sisters. We watched like Disney movies. Like we didn't watch action movies. So it was just one of those. I just like never got around to it. I never got older and was like, you know what? I really feel like watching today. Mission Impossible. So it just kind of slipped through the cracks.
It came out on my brother's birthday. It came out on my brother's birthday, so it's one of the movies back in the '90s that I remember seeing in theaters because he was so excited to go see it. But yeah, and also I just have to because Philip Seymour Hoffman is the best villain in the entire Mission Impossible. He was amazing. So I go 3, and then probably really 4, 5, 6 are just equal. They're all amazing, and then 1, and then 2. I love all of them. So yeah.
Well, let's hope the one they're shooting right now comes out and gets completed.
So
Rogue Nation's a little overrated. Let's be honest, though.
You take that back.
Rogue Nation's not that great.
It's grand. Mission Impossible series just feels like one of those that just can't do wrong now. It's gone to that point where Mission Impossible 2 was a fail. For what it was good, but it's like it just wasn't meant to be for that thing. But watching the original Mission Impossible, you just go and just like, oh, so this is where Bourne got its ideas from.
The best worst drinking game ever that I didn't do, but I played through watching it a couple weeks ago. Take a shot every time John Woo does a slow motion in Mission Impossible 2. And I want to see how far you can get. Because I don't think anybody's getting past 30 minutes.
All right, interesting.
And do a shot every time there's a dove.
Yeah, if you see a dove finish a drink, you're done for the night.
Yeah, you wouldn't get very far in Woo films, that's for sure. All right, Mission Impossible goes to Rue. Close out round 4 for us, Christina.
All right. I'm going to go 2010s.
Okay.
And I'm figuring out a way to sneak my boyfriend in this list. A little Chris Evans, but I'm going to go a little outside of the box. And I'm going to pair my other love, which is why I know I make fun of you dorks all the time, but let's be real, you know I'm the dorkiest of them all because I love math. And this movie has Chris Evans.
I knew you were going to pick this. I knew you were going to pick this movie.
And it has math. This movie is gifted. If you have not seen this movie, first of all, McKenna Grace. I mean, I loved young Dakota Fanning. Like, this is the second coming. Like, I love McKenna Grace. For those of you that have not seen the movie, Chris Evans' sister commits suicide. She is a world-renowned, famous mathematician. and she just, it's, the fine line between genius and insanity, and she couldn't take it anymore. So he now becomes the foster parent of her daughter, and now he is in a custody battle essentially with his mother because now the young girl, whose name I can't remember at the moment, Mary
Adler.
is also very gifted in math. So Jenny Slate plays the teacher, and she's like, oh, this kid is in like second grade and is like way above being here, kind of like is pushing it. And now Chris Evans has to walk the fine line of, do I let her be a normal kid, or do I push her to what her potential could possibly be? And the Chris Evans' mother, so essentially Mary's grandmother, really wants her pushed. Chris Evans doesn't want to do it because he saw what happened to his sister. And it's just, from an educator point of view, I'm not a parent, but I can't imagine what to do when you're in that situation where you see your child have this kind of potential, and do you strip them of their childhood to reach it, or do you never let them get there because you want them to live a normal life? And he's conflicted with whether or not he's the best influence for her. And then, just some intertwinings with his relationship with his sister. He was very close to her. It's a beautiful movie. And I don't just like it because it's Chris Evans. It's very well done.
No, I can say Christina would like this film. Chris Evans,
Yeah,
but yeah, it is a really beautiful.
Is a great movie. There's an excellent family relationship. Yeah, and I don't like Jenny Slate because I don't know another one. I don't know how he dated her. I'm cuter than her, but whatever. Not right now, but in general.
I love. Yeah, I'm with Aaron. I actually really love Jenny Slate.
Same.
I'm sure she's a wonderful person. I don't like her now. It's fine.
I have not seen this movie.
Oh, you have to. It's so good.
I wanted to when it came out, but it kind of just got lost for me.
Me too. I need to see it too.
Yeah. It's cute.
I always get this movie confused with another Chris Evans movie, and based off your description, it has nothing. It is not similar in any way. But I always think Gifted and Push are the same thing, and a Fox mutant show. So I get that confused. And you saying that now shows me has no similarities whatsoever.
Yeah.
But it sounds interesting.
Whoa!
Did I just piss you off in my comment there, Bar?
Whoa!
Just saying.
Whoa!
Let's let him have a freak out. Tony, you recap how round 4 went down, and then if he needs to chime in.
Absolutely.
Whoa!
Jacoby went versus Brian Heath with Army of Darkness for the Saturn Award-winning horror film. Peggy went second for Creed for A Sport You Don't Follow. Andrew, I was expecting a whoa. How to Steal a Million for the 60s.
Whoa!
Rue went Mission Impossible for the 90s, and Christina finished up with Gifted for the 2010s.
We've reached our 5th and final round. So, whichever ones you really want to get on your list, I suppose, or whatever you want to talk about, feel free. This is where you do it. Christina, kick off round 5.
All right. At this point, I'm just going to go with the movie I like. Because I feel like I did really good, guys. I really went outside of like normal Christina picks. So let's like reel it back in. Let's like come back down to reality. No, I'm gonna pick a movie with a rapper.
You mother! Really?
Yes. And I'm really gonna kill
excited
Rue.
now.
And the one I'm gonna pick, Rue's gonna hate me even more. And this is why I did this, because I knew I was in front of Rue. And I am going to pick the first rated R movie that I ever saw in theaters. 8 Mile.
Really? That's
I was in 9th grade when this movie came out, and I remember I went with my friend Marion and her mom, was like, I feel like there's going to be a lot of energy in this movie. I knew I was going to break Rue's pick. I really shouldn't have done it, but
did Christina get Rue's pick after since he left?
Christina gets another rapper one.
I will say, this is like a cinematic marvel. I mean, Anthony Mackie really kills it here as Papa Jock. Brittany Murphy plays an excellent train wreck of a human being.
I have a buddy who looks like Cheddar Bob. We call him Cheddar Bob.
Yeah.
What an unfortunate nickname.
There's a dude called Cheddar Bob that shoots himself in the thigh. I mean,
Practical Burst. What? I'm sorry.
I will say I still have the like where he freestyles to Sweet Home Alabama, where he's hanging out with Mekhi Phifer. I have that memorized. I could probably still do it. I'm not going to, but I probably still could. So yeah, this was cool back in the day. This was like right around when Eminem Show, that album, came out. So back in when I was 14 years old, this was like the coolest movie ever, and everyone saw it and everyone talked about it, and everybody's like, "Oh, we get to go see this rated R movie," and it was really cool. So that's mostly why I picked it, / to kind of ruin Rue's day a little bit. Vote for me, guys.
So kind of you, Rue.
I'm sorry.
This movie is very good. I enjoy the hell out of this movie. My favorite memory of it is that my nephew was living with me when we watched it. Yes, we took a 3-year-old to go see to go see 8 Mile. And at the end of it, when Lose Yourself was playing, I looked up in the theater and all you see is a little person with braids going the back of the theater. I gave away what I was going to pick because Eminem, I'm sorry, but Eminem is just, you need to put other rappers in this conversation besides Eminem. I was going to go with How High, and I can't put anything else right now, and that's why I'm mad. But anyway.
I can switch mine to Music Centric.
Oh.
No, you could have done
It's
that.
not
too.
music centric. That's the thing. It's not music centric. I can't do that either, but it's too late. I'll go with something else.
Everybody in the 313, put your motherfucking hands up and follow me. Now, watch as this man tries to stand tough. Notice that he did not put his hands up. This
Now,
movie
is
is
this
dope.
like a TikTok trend also? Because I have noticed that my students lately have been like, everybody in the 313. And I'm like, don't finish that sentence. Trending again. But like, they'll just like, well, when we had schools, this was last year, they would like walk in like this. And I'm like, why do you know this? Like, I know you didn't watch this movie. I know they didn't. So it's coming back, guys, maybe, possibly. TikTok.
Had I done featured a rapper, I would have gone with Poetic Justice, just because I love that film. That's got Tupac in it. But yeah, I mean, I dig 8 Mile. It's not the best movie featuring a rapper, but it's not the worst. So I'll go.
There's a couple.
I love it. I did have an 8 Mile poster in my bedroom also. I'm giving you guys way too much information to make fun of me about it. I hardcore loved Eminem.
Ultimately,
It's a lot of fun.
But at least he didn't rap on camera. Ooh, that's a good bit.
No, I wasn't
Alright.
trying to rap. I could do much better than that. Trust me. You haven't seen me.
All right. Well,
He's in a band called The Spoons.
How dare you? Spoon is a great band. Super underrated.
Fair.
yeah. So
And he's laughing out loud.
Well, just before we go, Jacoby has to leave.
Good.
So what we'll do is we'll be nice, let Jacoby quickly do his pick now. Say 1 minute then before he goes, so that you were
and
like,
then we'll talk
you're
about
like,
you when you're gone.
Yeah, we'll
That's
talk about
cool.
it.
That's good. I was just gonna say, that's good. I don't think this pick. I don't think I'm jumping the line to do my last pick. I don't think it's going to be one that a lot of people are going to pick because I think I'm going to pick a Western from before 2000.
Yeah. You got them too.
Was it? I can pick because rightfully fair. This also fits under the category of a movie with someone's full name in it because that technically you guys would have it
Go with
first.
that.
I'll
Please
go
go.
with that one instead.
Go
Yeah,
back.
'cause you guys. So I'll let you guys pick the Western. I think a lot of people should watch more Westerns. I think the very famous ones are the Clint Eastwood, Sergio Leone Westerns, but I think Clint Eastwood also has a lot of other great Westerns. And I think one that a lot of people should watch is The Outlaw Josie Wales. Yeah.
Hey, look at that.
There we go. Because I think this is just a great movie and a great story and a great Western. Like all three separate things, apart from each other, but then together they're equally great. Tells the story of a man who's very, very quickly loses his family, goes on to become an outlaw basically, and then throughout the movie kind of finds like a kind of a new family and how to get over his revenge, even though there's a lot of people coming at him. It's Clint Eastwood at his just surly, just best. And if you want to get into more Westerns, then I think this is a great one to watch. And with that, then I will sign off. So
Yes.
Thank you all very much.
Yep.
Thank you for
very much.
joining.
Congratulations for getting draft,
Yes.
being on the draft list. Hopefully get picked. Well, and all that jazz. And Nerd Blaze, do all those things like you can.
All
give
that
us,
fun
like,
stuff.
He doesn't like plugging himself. I'll plug him when he leaves.
He does.
Sounds
All right,
good.
bye.
Bye.
Later, Cody. All right. You
But-
called it, Bar. You called that pick. Can you talk about it a little bit?
No, because I have not seen it.
Oh,
I just
okay.
know that he likes that movie. So
Gotcha. Tony, you're gonna say
So-
something.
Yeah. So last year we decided to look at Eastwood Westerns as a category strength as a team.
Westwood
and so
Easterns.
Westwood Easterns. To go against this man, and also just in case we had it in the back pocket. We went, oh, this is gonna be punishment for us. Then it was like, holy shit, all of these are great. So it's like, if you have the chance, like Hang 'em High, The Outlaw Joseph Wales, any of the Man with No Name trilogy, as Jacoby said, pretty much anything Western from Clint Eastwood is a good watch, except for Paint Your Wagon. Do not pick Paint Your Wagon. Paint Your Wagon is the goddamn worst film in the history of the universe. It's about polygamy. I don't get why this is a movie.
Okay, yeah, strong feelings on that one.
Whoa. He speaks to the trees, Tony.
Think well. No one sings well in that movie. It's a musical. I just
All
watched the Simpsons joke.
Anyways, while they giggle it out, let's move on. Rue, what's your fifth and final pick, sir?
So I actually get to pick something I want to pick now. Right?
Yes, go for
Okay,
it.
good.
Yes, hopefully.
As I had mentioned before, just to make it very clear, How High would have been my pick for rapper, the Hood classic, and I want to see it because I haven't seen it in a while. So I'm going to go with another movie that I have not seen in a while, but I remember watching and being surprised that I watched and really enjoyed. Pre-2000s Westerns. I am not into Western, but I was into this because my dad was very much into it. It's low-key an ensemble, and I just looked it up. Also has an Arquette. But it has Costner, it has Danny Glover, it has Kevin Kline, and it's called Silverado. And again, I haven't seen it in a while. I just remember, like, my father put it on, and I was like, I don't want to. Oh, okay, I'm into this now. It's fun. It's cool to watch. I was enthralled by it. I need to watch it again because I don't remember much about it. I just remember how much I enjoyed it. So I'm putting it on here as a part of a challenge for anybody else. If you're not into Westerns, this would be a pre-2000s Westerns that could get you into it. Really good film. Silverado.
Yeah, I can't
not
say
seen
I've
it.
seen it. Yeah, me either.
I know about it, but I just haven't seen it.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Adding it to my long
All
list.
right.
I guess it.
Yeah, so just quickly, Silverado was directed by a guy that's written a few films: Empire Strikes Back, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Return of the Jedi.
Just a
so
few.
he's not really done that much in life, so it's a well-written film, and it's a fantastic watch.
It also has John Cleese and Jeff Goldblum in a Western.
You need that. in your life.
Right? Yeah. I'm going to have to definitely check this one out. Silverado. Good to know.
So I know we're short on time, but I just want to quickly say, is there a better screen pairing than John Cleese and Kevin Kline? Because everything apart from Fierce Animals has been great with them in.
Fish Called Wanda. Yeah, I mean, if I thought about it, I could probably come up with some, but not going to come up with it now. But anyways, Bar, we'll move on to you. Fifth and final pick. What you got?
I'm going to go with a documentary. We've all been having fun, and I hate to bring this movie up for my last one, but in August of 1966, a sniper climbed up to the top of the University of Texas's bell tower, and went on a shooting rampage. This is a documentary called Tower. It's about the moment in time, and it's told through the eyes of the survivors. But it's told completely in rotoscope animation. It's actually a very moving and beautiful piece because they don't focus the documentary on the shooter necessarily. They focus the documentary on the survivors, on the town, on the officers. And there are just some great, beautiful recollection moments of people helping other people, and there's this one moment where there's one person who's recalling this time that she was shot and she's just lying on the ground and she had been there for so long, and she's just looking at the sky and noticing how beautifully blue the sky is that day, before someone comes over and just stays with her the entire time. It is such a moving piece. It is such a beautiful documentary created out of one of the more tragic moments in this country's history. I highly recommend watching this movie. This movie had a deep, profound impact on me.
I have yet to see this. Anyone here on this one?
No.
Tower? No?
I only know about this because of Bars mentioning it in the documentary episode of Fantasy Film Fights.
Oh, yeah.
So that's all I know about it, is what he has said.
I think keeping my eye out for months for this now because it's just not available over here, and it sucks. And I've been waiting so long to be able to get to watch it, but one day.
I have an idea, Tony. We'll talk later.
There you go. All right, let's see.
Also,
Over
just
to
quick-
me. So good.
Aaron is correct. You can go back and Fantasy Film Fights documentary episode. That was fantastic. I believe
It was a good one, for sure. Which topic do I take for my last one? You know what?
Whilst Peggy's picking the last one, quickly, people in the chat, if you want to start firing away your suggestions, what I'll do is I will try my best to get all of any suggestions that have been made on the show. I know some in the chat. I'll try my best to put them all on like a Letterboxd profile so people can go through and see what everyone recommended, and also put it in the comments as well for anyone after the fact.
All right, so I guess I am gonna go with. Shit. You know what? Even though this is a family favorite, there are a lot of people out here who have yet to see this one. So I'm gonna go with a music-centric movie. Excuse me. Okay. This is a low-budget film, but I've seen 3 movies from this director, all music-centric movies. Tony thinks I'm going to take the one that he would go with, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it the one Boatman will be proud of me. I'm taking Sing Street. If you have not seen Sing Street, it is the cutest coming-of-age movie about a guy who develops a crush on this girl, tells her that he's in a band, and then has to figure out a way to form said band. And it turns out he's really, really good at it. So I don't know. I don't want to give away too much, but it's totally adorable. Anything from John Carney, I am on board with since one beginning and Sing Street. Hey, Rory's making a cameo. Hi, baby.
Aww.
But yeah, I'm going to close out my team with Sing Street. Feel free to discuss if you guys have seen this one.
This movie's great. I really like this movie a lot. Probably make my top 150.
Sweet.
It is phenomenal. I love Once much more, but Sing Street is up highly up there.
But yeah, first time I saw this movie, I think I immediately rewatched it right away because I thought it was so adorable. But anyways, yay! I'm very happy with my list.
Also, if you need a movie not set in English-speaking country, technically, the national language of Ireland is Gaelic.
That's true.
But yeah, that closes out the draft, guys. We're all done. Yay, everyone. Have you started throwing out your suggestions of movies that we should see? If not, do so while Tony recaps how everyone's team broke down.
Absolutely. Let me just quickly throw the group Letterboxd in so people can have a look and see what they want to shoot out. All right, so the list that we have today. So Christina went first overall, and she went for the 1970s Kramer vs. Kramer. Available now, Digest Cinema. You should go listen to it. That's Digest Cinema.
It'll be
next week.
It's not available yet.
No,
it's funny face right now. Or funny mouth.
It's been a long day. Second, Gerard for English, set in non-English-speaking country. Gifted for the 2010s, and 8 Mile for Movies for a Rapper. Amaru was second. He went with Blind Spotting for One Word. North by Northwest for Hitchcock. Snatch for set in the UK. Mission Impossible for the 90s. And Silverado for pre-2000 westerns. Barr was third. He went with When Harry Met Sally for Written by a Woman.
Written by a woman.
Written by a woman.
Whoa.
Marriage.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Okay, afternoon for less than $1 million budget. Amadeus for Tony Award-winning plays. How to Steal a Million for the 60s. A Tower for documentary. Peggy was next. She went Someone Grateful, directed by a woman. Before Sunset for less than 90 minutes. Beautiful Girls for an Arquette film. Creed for a sport you don't follow, and Sing Street for music centric. And then finally, Jacoby. First up, he went Brick for film noir, American Psycho for 2000s, Your Name for non-Disney / DreamWorks animation, The Army of Darkness for the Saturn Award-winning horror, and The Outlaw Josie Wales for a full name title.
The vote later on is going to be interesting on this one. All right, we're running short of time. We're going to go around the horn. Just give a couple ones that you almost picked to be part of your team. We'll start with you, Bar.
Bringing Up Amy for black and white movies, and The Departed for Best Picture winners.
Nice. Christina, you got a few that just missed out on being part of your squad?
If I was going to go black and white, I would probably go It's a Wonderful Life. Shark film, I really thought about doing Shark Boy and Lava Girl just to ruin everyone's day.
Let's be
if I was going to do music centric, I was going to pick Across the Universe.
Okay. Never really got into that, but I'm not Big Bill, so yeah. Rue, you got a few besides How High that didn't make your list.
Right. 80s Trading Places, Best Picture Casablanca, Palme d'Or, Parasite, and versus Tucker and Dale versus Evil, which I'm so glad that was a round 3 movie because it's hilarious.
Nice. Tony, you got a few that you want to throw out there for categories?
Damn it, I have to find
No, I'll do mine first while you think.
Go ahead.
Based on a book over 100 years old, I really like The Count of Monte Cristo with Jim Caviezel. It's a really, really good one.
Damn it. I want
Let's
that
see. Aaron, for A24 movies, I'd go Ex Machina. That'd be my suggestion for that. For John Hughes, he wrote it, did not direct it, but that got changed so much that he tried not to take writing credit on it. It's a movie called Career Opportunities that no one's ever seen. And then
with Gregory Peck?
No, Career Opportunities. No, this is Jennifer Connelly. And
that movie, the Target one.
Yeah, Target one. Jim Gitt. Yeah. And then for biopic, I would have done Blaze, directed by Ethan Hawke. Not many people have seen that one. But anyway,
the one about Outlaw Country?
Yeah.
Nice.
So, A24, Ex Machina, or The Farewell. I would suggest less than 90 minutes. The Secret of Nim, Office Space, Marty, Oscar Best Picture winners, The Sting, Ordinary People, All the King's Men. Thank you very much for Joseph Alifax. Yes, I'm just using your list because I couldn't find mine. Yeah, and that's it for me because I can't find mine. But let's see what people have in the chat.
Yeah.
So
there's a few of them in there.
Well, just before we do that, Bell, you need to quickly go. So you want to do plugs before we say what people in the chat for?
Yeah.
No plugs. Just keep doing you. And make sure to support your fellow man. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for being on. Love you anytime you want to be on. Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
Friday, Sunday. Bye. All right. So people from the chat, see your suggestions. So Jake Meltz, Palme d'Or winning The Third Man, film of 3 hours, slash in language you can't speak, 7 Samurai. Also, I believe Kurosawa is on this list somewhere. So if memory serves, I can't remember if I put him on or not. If you want a black and white film, can't do classics. Francis Ha, The Way to Go, or Nebraska, or even Mank. 2010's Paddington 1 and 2, since a lot of people haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's on the to-do list.
I feel like it's one of those I gotta do.
The Florida Project. Also, if you have the chance, I believe the person is at technically 11, so she won't count, but Rocks, the movie that came out last year for the UK, I believe it's on Netflix over there, is the best film of last year, 100%. I
almost got a screener. I almost got a screener for that, and I haven't been able to get it yet.
It's incredible if you get a chance. Mystery, Memories of Murder, A24 film Spring Break, haha. Protagonist and the $10 million baby. Nope.
That was a joke.
I got it. Non-dream working
like,
Disney Stores. And then documentary Hoop Dream directed by female portrait of a lady on fire / foreign film. Lahane as well, broadcast news for 80s. One more title, Annihilation, A24 Lock.
Oh, Carl likes Annihilation a lot.
Under 1 Million Columbus. I think that's it.
It should be good.
But
let's get out of here before MTV's The Challenge begins, because me and Christina gotta go over there. Watch that. All right, Christina, what you got to plug? Tell us all about it.
So Aaron and I are doing a companion podcast exactly on this list. So it's called Digesting Cinema. It is everywhere you guys get your podcast, except for maybe not iTunes yet because it takes a while. It's definitely on Spotify. We just talked about Funny Girl. Our next one will be Kramer versus Kramer, so that will be dropping next week. I would also like to plug my husband's show over on Opening Night Trivia League. He does a show called Working Title, where you are pit against somebody else who would like to play against you, and you guys have to pitch your best movie. Peggy and I are scheduled to come up in the next week or two, and I know if he hasn't, he wants to definitely try and reach out to Rue and Jacoby and maybe try and bank off of our new possible Schmodown draftee fame. So he's trying to build it for everybody. Check it out. If you haven't been on it yet, definitely do it. You don't have to be good at movie trivia to pitch a movie. You just have to be a little bit creative. And I remembered him from once. Yay!
Yay! All right, Rue, is there an interesting topic coming up on One Gotta Stay? What you got?
I'm taking a bit of a break, but we will be back probably in 2 weeks. I'm actually reaching out to people specifically for this one. Peggy, I might reach out to you. Some R&B singers. I'm going back to music, R&B. If you know Neo Soul for any reason, reach out to me. I have people in mind, but I can always. If I didn't know you like R&B music or Neo Soul music, and you do, I would love to have you. On top of that. Please follow, like, and just read the reviews for the writing crew I have at. It's now called Bite Size Breakdown, no longer Bite Size Review, Bite Size Breakdown. It's the reviews I share on IG, on Facebook a lot. That isn't One Gotta Stay, and isn't any of us. So go follow that as well.
All right, cool. And then Tony, what's coming up on featured presentation?
So so yesterday, Unearth Bill Cariola, him and Shannon Williams from the band The Messengers, who does the theme for Unearth Now. They did the movie Tapeheads, which is a fantastic film. If you've not watched it, you should give it a crack. So that's good. Sign up sheet for FPTL is still available, so if you want to play, put your name down. I'll be ending that later on. And also, just in case we haven't mentioned it, we are on now Instagram, feature presentation production. So we're trying to put up daily little questions on the stories and all that jazz, make it a bit more fun and interactive. So if you are on Instagram, please go follow there. And keep your eye out for new stuff. The video version of That Made Your List with Dave Goodger comes out next Tuesday.
Cool.
First episode there, and I think that's everything. Maelstroms will be announced later for the month, all that jazz. And keep your eye out. Please subscribe to all the things.
Topics for February Fantasy Film Fights will be coming out soon, and tune in next week when we do 5-word movie titles. It'll be a fun one. So. Yes, fun topics coming down the pike. But for myself, for Jacoby, who had to take off, for Andrew, who had to take off, Christina, Amaru, and Tony, be safe. Love your fellow neighbor. We'll see you next week.
Congratulations to you three, and also Jacoby, who fucked off. Oh, yeah, Jacoby, Nerdblaze, Screen Rant, all that jazz. Go follow him, all that jazz. He never likes me promoting stuff, but he does good stuff, so follow him.
Have a good week, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and please don't forget to vote.
That was awesome.
I thought it raked.
Who's winning?
Let's see you win.
You're gonna win.
Nothing personal. It's really gonna matter.
Tune in next week.
You see what happens?
Brand new.
Episode?
A fantasy film fight.
Doesn't matter who wins, because they're all losers.